What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today we are going to get our lumberjack on. That's right, we're playing Project Zomboid yet again, and we're going to go out and chop some trees as long as the hordes don't come along to bother us. So we've got our trusty red axe. I don't know why axes are typically red. That's just like, I don't know, they had a convention of axe makers at some point, and they said, we're going to make axes always have red tops, and that's just how it's going to be. Now, if you want to chop a tree, you just attack it like normal, like so. You kind of just point in the direction the tree is, and you just swing away at it. And the reason I'm choosing to do these ones that are so close to the house is that I actually think, oh, they weigh 9 each? God, they're so heavy. Well, the reason I'm doing things that are so close to the house is because, frankly, I really don't want to run logs from 600 miles away back to this location. It makes the whole thing very, very cumbersome, very frustrating. And so the way that we're going to do it is we're just going to take a couple logs at a time, bring them into the house. We'll have to do a little bit of inventory management in between each go. Like I've said before, the crafting system has never been super streamlined in this game. I think they are getting closer. I definitely think Indie Stone has the right idea with where they're going with the crafting system right now. It's just got a little bit of time left before I think it's completely and totally figured out. So let's drop the logs back into here. Now, if you want to make your logs into planks, I think I showed you in the last episode, or the one before that, but we'll just do it one more time. We're actually going to saw some logs here, and you have to have the saw in your inventory, and I think you can either click on the saw and do it, or you can click on the logs and do it. From each one, you should get 3 planks, each weighing 3 pounds. So I think what I'll do here is we'll take these 6 planks, we'll see what our weight is looking like once I drop them into the duffel bag. We should have roughly the same weight as before, so it should be like 5 out of 8. If that is indeed the case, we'll grab a hammer, we'll grab some nails, and then we'll get to work kind of boarding up the rest of these windows. Once that's taken care of, I think we'll be in a good spot to start making fences and start putting in the little obstacles that are going to help us survive a zombie attack in the future. Now, when my game had crashed, we were in the middle of a massive zombie attack, like one of those zombie attacks for the ages that just really no good could come from it. It was literally probably a couple hundred zombies outside just everywhere, and I was shotgunning like crazy. The episode crashed. It was upsetting because it would have made for an amazing, amazing watch. Let's take one out of here. I don't know if it's going to let me, actually, so I guess we'll take them all. It's a bad idea to be walking or moving around while doing this. And then the other thing that we need to do is we need to equip our hammer as our primary, so we'll do that in just a moment. Oh, perfect timing. Perfect, loverly timing. So let's get to barricading really quickly, because I'd prefer to use up all these hammers and nails and things. I don't really know how close that gunshot was, but it's got to be reasonably close. There we are. 3 barricades on that window. Should be okay. This window doesn't appear to want a barricade. That's alright, we're going to force it to. We shall forcefully barricade you, sir. You will do your duty for this confederation. The confederation of windows and walls that make it safe for me to eat ramen noodles. Alright, so all those windows are taken care of. What else do I have here? Our water bottle's good. Let me check around the back really quickly. I'll throw the nails in the duffel bag so that we can move normally. So we've got a window there. We've got a window there. So maybe another set of logs and we'll be good. Oh, they put in a hammer graphic. That's cool. Alright, so I like that. That makes me happy. That's one of those little additions that I think is very cool. Let's board up a few more windows. I don't know if this place has a back door, but if it has a back door, we'll figure out how to board that up too, because I don't want to take any chances. Although maybe I'll leave the back door completely left alone. I don't know. Put the nails back in here. This is going to be a very long and arduous process, believe me. This is definitely going to be an ordeal. And you'll recall, the reason I'm dragging and dropping, my shift clicking stopped working. I don't really know why. I can't shift click things anymore. It was like a wondrous dream of happiness, pixie dust and all that jazz. And then they took it from me. They absolutely took it from me. Let's move this extra log that I have laying in here. We might as well, instead of leaving it in our cabinet here, using up an absurd amount of space. Let's go ahead and take that log with us as we go outside. We'll chop the next selection of logs, and then we'll get those last 2 windows taken care of. We'll do a little bit of scouting before we go to bed tonight as well, just to make sure we know where the horde is at, because they've got to be around here somewhere. My guess is that they're probably in one of these houses or on the other side of one of these fences or something of that nature. Chop this tree down really quickly. There it is. So we've got 2 logs there. I'm only going to grab 1. Alright, good. I wanted to make sure they didn't grab like 100 logs. Sometimes when you tell them to pick up half the objects, it thinks half of 2 is 2. And so my guess is that the Project Zomboid engine did not do so well in 2nd grade, but that's okay. I don't blame them. Sometimes the education system fails those programs that just no program left behind program of redundancy. So let's open up our inventory once again, and we're going to swap everything out. We'll throw the hammer in here. We don't really need the axe anymore. That should be the last of the windows that we're going to need to take care of. Okay, we'll grab the saw. Equip that as a primary just to get rid of the extra weight. Take a couple nails. I don't think we need like hundreds of nails, but it couldn't hurt. And now that we've got those on hand, oh, we're going to need the, did we get the saw? Did I get the saw? Saw? There you are. I'll name you Stanley the Saw. And so let's move, oh yeah, the logs have to be in here. I got some strawberry seeds. I don't know why I'm carrying those around, but they don't weigh anything, so I don't really care. And so once we have that in place, let's go ahead and saw those, and then we'll put 3 barricades on the remaining windows. We've done a reasonably decent job at avoiding loads of zombie attention, which is really good. I was terrified once we started barricading that we were just going to get ourselves into a heaping, nasty helping of mess. I'm going to walk very carefully as we go along because I don't want to sprain myself. We've got 1 bag of chips left. Yeah, I'll eat those just to get our weight up a little bit. Now, if there's a horde out here, that's going to be a big, big problem for us right now because I can't run away, which is delightfully terrifying. So there's a window right here. I may have to barricade from the inside with some of these. Sometimes the game doesn't like to click what you want it to click. Yeah, so let's do it from the inside, I suppose. I don't want to leave anything unbarred. I would really prefer security over everything else at this point. So we've got all these windows taken care of. I put 1 too many planks on that one. It's fine. It'll work out okay. I'd love to know how much HP the individual barricades and things have. Oh, we don't need the turlet. Turlet, we don't need you right now. Oh. Hold on, I thought I heard a moan. Well, I don't know. I thought I heard a moan, but maybe not. Alright, so there's 3 barricades there. I guess I had thought that that mirror right there was a window for some reason, so I guess we've got a few extra planks then to play with. Let's go ahead and take a look at the construction system, see what we can get done here. So I might consider knocking out one of these walls right here and making just a completely fenced-in area that I could put crops. That might be an interesting concept. Take a sledgehammer, knock out the bricks right there possibly, although the stairwell is right here, so maybe we do it in the back where there's an open wall possibly. I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what kind of walls we can make here. So we can make a wall. What's that going to cost me? 4 boards? I can't tell because it's flickering on me, unfortunately. There we go. So we need 4 planks. Well, I think we can manage that. Let's take a look and see what we can do here. Saw that bad boy really quickly. Now, I don't know how much wall section we're going to get here. This may turn into one of those projects that I do in between videos. But for first things first, I'd like to play around with the system. Oh, you just do it like that. Now, are these walls destructible? That's one thing that makes me nervous. Can they annihilate these? Can be barricaded, plastered, and painted. A wooden pillar. I guess that holds up like a floor or something. Door frame, window frame, stairs, floors, crates for storage. Alright. I don't know if these walls can be destroyed, but we'll give it a go. Yikes, that is a janky looking fence. Construction is definitely not one of my finer points, I'll tell you that much. God. Alright. So let's consider just kind of dropping things on the ground out here, actually. I don't think it's actually going to be too terrible of an idea to just kind of leave things on the ground and we'll grab them as we need them. Throw the rest of these nails on the ground. That is a huge pile of nails. God. Alright, so let's get back in the house. We'll grab the axe. Let me see how many logs I can cut for the time being. There we go. And so we've got the axe. We'll go back downstairs. I'm going to chop down a bunch of these trees and we'll just leave planks laying everywhere. Because right now we don't have any... Well, we don't have any impediments. We don't have anything getting in our way of constructing. And in the future, we don't really know how many zombies there's going to be around, whether they're going to surround the house at some point, and this construction is not going to be able to be completed. So I prefer to just knock over as much of this as we can in between houses. Let me chop you. There we go. Directionally, the game is just being completely obtuse right now. I sincerely hope these walls aren't destructible. Back in previous versions of the game, there were walls that were destructible and there were indestructible walls. Why both were in the game, I have no idea. There was no real use to the other ones. But I prefer to be more careful in my case. If these can be destroyed, we need to be very careful. So our axe doesn't appear to lose that much durability as we chop logs here. Let me grab as many of these as I can. We have a very heavy load on our shoulders for the time being. I'll grab the saw. Let's saw those up. And doing this one section of wall at a time is going to be very difficult, so this may actually turn into a giant boring process, and I apologize if that is the case. Wait, what does a wooden stick do? Can I smack zombies with it? That's my primary concern with a wooden stick, is can I use it as an awesome weapon? Alright, so now we want to equip the hammer. And we've got to grab ourselves some nails. Oh, I'm stuck on the other side of the wall. And so yeah, I feel like the construction system needs to be streamlined just a tad. That would be my recommendation, is that if we're going to work on one thing as developers, this would be the one that I feel like the rest of the game is doing pretty well. It's these random construction projects, though, that just become a little bit cumbersome. So I'd also like to be able to click and pick things up off the ground. We can make 2x4s? Really? Interesting. Let's take a look and see what we can construct out of these. A campfire kit. Okay, so we can cook things if we make a campfire kit, I would guess. We can make a wooden stick, or we can make a nailed plank. So a 2x4 with nails coming out of it. Interesting concept. I may try one out. Maybe we'll do that right after we build this third segment. So let's put down this third wooden wall. And as soon as that's in place, we'll see if we can make one of these super amazing spiky planks here. Let's see what that does for us. See what kind of damage we can lay low on our opponents. And then I'll dump the rest of this stuff on the ground, so we'll throw the axe on the ground. We don't need you right now, axe. That is a big axe. When you drop it on the ground, the axe is like as big as my character. We'll drop the remainder of those on the ground. We'll throw the planks on the ground, just in case zombies decide to follow us back home. And let's go see what we can do with this nailed plank. I don't really know how long this thing's going to last. Oh, it's got its own graphic, too. That's cool. So let's find some zombies. Oh, the zombies that I killed before the game crashed are still here. It's weird what this game saves and what it doesn't save. To be really honest, whenever this game crashes, I'm always interested in the leftovers or whatever else is still here. Well, these zombies appear to be worthless. They aren't really dropping anything. Well, the plank swings pretty slowly. Doesn't appear to be the most agile of weapons. But it does seem to get the job done. Oh, and it's almost broken, too. Alright, well, let's lead these last couple back to the house. And then maybe we'll do a bit more scavenging. I don't think you guys want to watch me build fence planks over and over and over again. Where are they? It sounds like there's more of them around me than I think there are. I guess not. We're going to have to figure out a way to loot all those bodies down there. Maybe we'll go on just a shotgun slaughter in just a moment. There we go. And so we broke our nailed plank, I think. Yep, nailed plank, completely broken. We'll drop it on the ground along with the rest of this refuse. And then we'll head back to the house because it's 7 o'clock and apparently we're getting tired like old people, so it's okay. Sometimes you get tired at 7 o'clock. Maybe, well, we worked a pretty hard day. We've been doing a lot of construction, so we'll get back in the house. Let's jump on upstairs, and maybe that's what we'll do. We'll have a shotgun showdown here. And I can already hear you guys getting excited about this. Anytime I go just berserker mode with weapons, you guys seem to be pretty happy. Although, where did my shotgun go? Oh, maybe it's in the closet over here. Let me see if I can grab the shotgun out of the closet, possibly. No, the shotgun's not in the closet. What happened? So in the crash, it appears to have lost the shotgun. That is a letdown. Let me make sure that I didn't leave the shotgun anywhere on accident, but I was using the shotgun when the game crashed. So there is a possibility. Okay, so we lost our only shotgun in the crash. I don't have enough bullets to go on a pistol rampage, I don't think. So maybe we'll just get our crowbar on here. And just see how many of these little guys we can deck to death. And then we'll do a little bit of scavenging on the way and see if we can find a shotgun while we're killing zombies around our house. That is really, really disappointing. I'm going to grab all the chips. We'll take them on the road with us. Wait till I get a little more tired here. And there we are. That should probably do it. That should hold us over till morning. So we'll jump on into bed, and we'll actually pay attention to whether we get cold or not while we sleep. I think you have to put a sweater on once it's winter. Now, there's no real indication that it is winter, aside from the fact that, like, for example, what I would assume is that you could find a calendar somewhere, and then once you have the calendar, you could actually track what month it was, because a lot of the guides that I've been looking at have said that you should only make your crops, like, in spring because winter kills them off, especially if you're relying on rain, which we are going to be. We don't actually have the excess water to do a whole lot of crop harvesting. Oh, good. And then we got the sound of a machine gun there in the background, which is going to redirect these guys somewhere. Hopefully in an opposite direction of where I would like them to be. Looks like that is the case. So let's get in here and search the rest of these corpses. Just kind of crawl through the dead and see what we can find for ourselves. It's disappointing because had I known the game had deleted my shotgun, I would have brought the one from the warehouse. God, my loot luck is just terrible with zombies. You guys seem to have a lot better results with the whole zombie looting premises than I do. Or the whole premise, I guess. There's a couple zombies right here. We'll make sure we take them out, and then we're going to jump up in this house and see if there's anything we can use. There we go. We got him nice and crowbarred. Keep an eye on this gent right here, who appears to be going in a different direction, but I'm going to wake him up for just a second, and then we'll beat him to death too. So he's down now. He's got a notebook. We'll take that because we can use that later for making our diary. I'm going to assume that we haven't been in any of these buildings as of yet because I didn't leave the doors open, so if we end up triggering a burglar alarm, not a big deal actually, because it'll draw the zombies over here and make it easier for me to do a little bit of construction here and there. So ooh, and did he get me? No? Okay, good. He turned out to be a lot quicker than I expected him to be, unfortunately. Oh dear. Well, we have the crowbar, so why not? I mean, we can only kill like one zombie at a time with the crowbar, but they're all a lot speedier than I expected. That kind of sucks. There's nothing worse than a zombie that's fast. Get ourselves rested really quickly. I mean, I'm going to have to rely on possible one-hits here because I really can't hold my ground. There we go. So there's one down. The crowbar is limited range. Makes it a little lackluster as a weapon, but it does hit pretty hard, which is something to consider. But against groups, it's going to get me into trouble, I can tell already. There we go. So there's another one down. And with the crowbar, I very much prefer to keep these zombies lined up horizontally rather than vertically. If you line them up horizontally, you can actually test the range of the crowbar a little bit better. You can actually see where you're swinging for, which can become a major problem with the crowbar, I've found. So there's that last zombie down. We're going to search some of the bodies here. There's a pencil. We'll take that. It does sound as though there's a zombie inside. So that might be something that we have to contend with, especially if he's speedy. So there's a couple right here. Now this is tight quarters fighting. So we do have to be careful about the way things line up. Especially since these appear to be like the raid boss of zombies. There we go. So there's a few more down. The commotion may have gotten us in trouble, which is something I don't like. But on the back end, don't really care either, so nothing in there that I'm intensely interested in taking a look at. We are pretty hungry. Maybe I'll eat some chips. How's that crowbar looking? Yeah, that's what I like to see. Killed a bunch of zombies, and that thing is only at minus 10% durability. I'm going to be careful going through the stairwell up here, because I love being alive. Being dead is not one of those things that we strive for here at the Nerd Castle. I mean, it does happen on occasion, but there's another duffel bag and some sheets. I don't think those are going to be incredibly useful to us right now. Got kind of a little study in here. The desk I don't think is going to have any drawers. Some more sheets. And a master bedroom, what looks like. Playing cards. I'll take the sleeping tablets. A bunch of socks. But otherwise, what would be cool is if you could find kind of pool balls and things of that nature, and you could put them in a sock and use that as a weapon. That'd be super legit. Make yourself like a makeshift smiley. When I was growing up in my hometown, that's what punk rockers used, is they would get into altercations, and punk rockers had this thing called a smiley, and it was like a chain. It was like a bike chain, and they would put a padlock on the end of it. Whew, that thing, terrifying. It's crazy the things that human beings can do to other human beings. Sometimes I just sit and think about that. It's like, wow. Like, really? Yikes. But against zombies, there's no rules. You gotta do what you gotta do with zombies. So let me leave a door open here. Ugh, I'm an idiot. Let me go back through the window, mark this one as being eluded, and then we shall get our scoot on. Oh, they've got a mud room. Okay, that's what that is. Interesting. I've only seen like 2 houses in my entire lives with a mud room. If you don't know what a mud room is, it's like a little laundry room. It's just like a old-fashioned term for a laundry room. It looks like the huge crowd was drawn over to this location for whatever reason. I'm gonna do my best to lose these guys through the brush here. This is probably risky business cutting through here. Yeah, it looks like there's a couple hordes that have all kind of grouped up for this location, so I'm not gonna mess with that house. We're not even gonna bother. So my guess is that the fences are possibly destructible until you plaster them, maybe? I'm not really sure what the stipulations of those walls we've built are gonna be. I'm a little bit confused on the logistics of this sort of thing, and there's not a lot of guides out there to take a look at. So, God, such a huge pile of zombies, and yet, no goodies. So I think what I'm gonna do is let's cut back this way and just hope that we can find ourselves another shotgun, since the gods of Zomboid appear to have deprived us of our earlier weapon. I am going to go out of my way to kill as many Zeds as possible as I move forward, because we've got a crowbar, and it's got loads of durability, so why not use it? Alright, so down he goes. We got ourselves another skill point, too. Oh god, made me jump. Jeez. They seem to hear the sound of one another being smashed from a long, long ways away. Got zombie walkie-talkies somewhere on them. And we really want the Speedy Gonzalez zombie there to go down. The one that's just flying along at breakneck pace. We can't have him up and in our business right now, because those are the ones that set the pace of the entire combat. God, and if you get two of them like we just did, it gets even nastier because you can't cripple them or anything like that. Which would be, like, I would love to be able to just leg one of these guys and make it so that they can't do anything to me. There we go. So that's one down. And there's the other. So nothing on those ones either. I'm kind of wondering if, like, zombies have their loot turned off somehow in mine. Earlier on, the zombies seem to drop stuff all the time, but these zombies don't seem to be quite as wealthy as the initial ones that we were killing. God, can you imagine, like, the toll it would take on your psyche just bashing things' heads open all day? Like, just the psychological effects of just, like, murdering zombies or ex-humans all day, just sitting there and smacking them in the head with blunt objects. I guess at some point you would just become callous to it and just, like, stop caring, but those first few weeks would just be all kinds of PTS crazy. So there goes that one. And now you, sir. Even though you have a magnificent beard, I cannot allow you to continue existing. Your beard made a good argument. It tried pretty hard. If you had had a big mustache, I think you would have had better luck, though. So I'm just going to continue merrily down the road here, just bludgeoning like crazy. Every zombie we kill is one we don't have to deal with later, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about right there. I had a feeling it might bug out with that bite, and it might count, even though we were out of its reach. Let's take a look for other locations that we could possibly scavenge. It's 5 o'clock, so we've got time for like one more building. The game does seem to be putting up more of a fight nowadays, though. We're about 1 month into our gameplay, a little bit through a month and a half. And I do see a stark difference in what we had to deal with the first few days versus what we're dealing with now. Let me take a look at my skill menu. So we have 2 skill points available. We can do a carpentry, so I think that's what we'll do. Put a point into carpentry, and then as soon as we get blunt leveled up a little bit further, I suppose we'll put another one into blunt, or maybe another one into sneaking. Oh god, that one almost got me too. So let's take a look and see what we can find down the road this way. We're probably making all kinds of friends here, but I think it's best if we hit the old dusty trail. Never mind, so we've got what looks like a horde, or at least the edge, the tail end of a horde right there. Not going to risk it. I think we're just going to head back to Planet Pills, and then once we get to Planet Pills, I think we'll be alright, so hopefully we can avoid leading any of these guys back with us. I would prefer to go through the brush a tad. There's a baseball diamond up here that could potentially draw even more heat down upon us. We have to run through the condos over here, though, to get back to our home, so I think we'll be alright. I don't think I hit everything on this side of the road, but it looks like, oh, that's where they relocated to. Okay, so that big group of zombies that I was dealing with in the deleted episode, or the one that was lost by the system. Get that window open, and then we'll bail out through that right there. Lovely. And so that gives us a little bit of leeway. And we're coming up on 30 minutes right now. Down in the comments, let me know if you want me to construct off camera. I may end up recording before this airs, in which case I'll probably start putting down some fences there. And this entire area is going to be like for farming and things of that nature. So we'll figure that out as we go along. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle. It's always a blast to play a little bit of Project Zomboid with you guys. And I'll see you next time. Take care out there, everybody.